The church does not approve of gambling. There are various forms of this evil, but they are all bad and should not be indulged in. Reach out, touch faith.
I was really excited when I heard about a blackjack team of all Christians. I was like, that's ridiculous.
I play on a blackjack team, most of you know. One thing that makes our team very different is that we're almost entirely made up of Christians.
I'm James Harleman, and this is Cinemagogue, where we look at film not just from the narrative perspective, but also in how the story measures up with the biblical narrative, the story Christians believe informs and infuses all of life.
Blackjack makes people reassess what Christianity is, and in a good way. We want to live in the gray, because in the gray you've got to question who you are and what you're doing.
I'm probably biased when it comes to Holy Rollers, the true story of card-counting Christians, the documentary directed by Bryan Storkel, because the cameras aren't just following around a blackjack-playing, card-counting team of Christians, no less. They're also people I've called friends and acquaintances over the years. But I still think for everyone, the film provides some intriguing, captivating even, character study of the players involved and the principles and ethics surrounding that make for great conversation.
It's so far in the left field to think that someone would be a professional blackjack player, let alone have a whole team. And the fact that everyone we knew was in ministry of some sort was just awesome.
I knew that there were good, godly people who cared about Jesus and cared about integrity and cared about me.
Now, the film does a great job demystifying the idea of card counting. It's not some mystical process. And it also demystifies the idea of the casino as some place like in the movie 21 or Casino, where card counters are drug into the back and beaten to bloody pulps, and there's all sorts of craziness going on and danger involved. What we actually find is that it's almost mundane, yet interesting to watch because of that. It's mathematical, the system that they've devised. It's not gambling in the strictest sense. With the game they've chosen and the system that they've employed, it's a mathematical system that, if done correctly, will yield a measurable return on investment. Now, while there's no explicit biblical mandate against gambling, it's usually a biblically based stewardship issue based on the idea that you're playing with lady luck, fortune, or chance instead of a good, godly, solid work ethic. However, with the system they've designed and the way that they go about it, these players have essentially pulled the rug out from under that traditional Christian argument. Still, we're able to see these card-playing Christians wrestle with other aspects of conviction as well in regard to the environment they're putting themselves in, the impact on their family life, whether or not they wear disguises and the ethics of that, and more.
It doesn't seem like one of the most noble things a person could do in the world, but at least we can liberate the money from the clutches of those who would use it for ill purposes. I mean, that's a start.
Now, some of the players express almost a Robin Hood-like sentimentality to what they're doing, taking money away from the evil casinos that do ruin the lives of so many gambling addicts, and put them in seedy accoutrements and environment as they're playing. However, the fact that their system and the business is based on the existence of these casinos and, in fact, supplementing or subsidizing their homes and their families, it strikes a bit against that idealization. In fact, the casinos essentially become an institution that their livelihood depends on. Now, director Bryan Storkel makes an artistic choice to stay laser focused on the lives and thought processes of the players and a few others. But I wish for one moment he'd stepped out and grabbed a religious leader who is both pro and con, so we could have heard a little more foundationally what the arguments are for and against Christians involved in gambling. It would have created more fires of conversation for viewers afterwards. I'm not sure an average Christian will leave the film challenged to think outside the view that they had going into the film. And I'm not positive a non-Christian will truly have all the pieces involved to understand the conundrum, the wrestle that the Christian players are going through. Still, Holy Rollers is a good bet to get conversation going in the mixed crowd, a great opportunity to discuss what Christians really do believe and how it spills down into every aspect of our life application. You can find more audio and video content like this at cinemagogue.com. I'm James Harleman, and until next time, remember, watch to glorify.